I had the realization that now, or the present and the future, are more important than the past for us Africans. For the past 2,000 years, we Africans have largely been dominated by many groups of people, both within and without the continent, primarily because there is something that our ancestors failed to do that non-African ancestors did. I call this reality our ancestors' era. My persuasion is that you and I don't have to repeat the same era, for we will be the ancestors in 2,000 years.
How do we identify ourselves other than the political entities that our countries are? I hope the group can help me answer these questions.
We need to find just one thing that connects, like we just have one central nervous system, which we do not have right now.
The important lesson here is for us to be able to free the agency of the individual as a person.
And why have we suffered from these heritages most of the time? I say here that fragmentation, inward looking, small unit thinking caused by the tribe. And when I find a form which asks me about my tribe, for me I find it very embarrassing.
I think the problems we have with tribe come from the mistaken belief that your grouping is inherently better or more superior than another.
If we do not carefully discuss tribe vis-a-vis a nation, then we miss the point of being able to transcend beyond these heritages, being able to transcend beyond the tribe and say, well, I am a human being. I appreciate, I have roots in this tribe, I have values that I do much respect from my tribe, but I am first and foremost a human being.
The idea is to embrace the tribe, but also embrace the 100 or so others that we have as a nation, and using that diversity to benefit the nation, to move forward as individuals in the nation.
I also thought that maybe we really need to begin thinking. I know there is the Pan-Africanism to bring Africa together. If we want to transform Africa, then the leaders of Africa must define the African they want. Yeah. Fragmentation, disunity, and the absence of big picture thinking be caused by too many smaller religions. Remember the smaller tribes combined with smaller religions. Where do you get big picture thinking? It can never come. Good education should teach us how to be, how to do, how to live with other people, and how to continue learning, how to learn. And that's why I'm saying, if we implement education to produce those, we would kill the 6 killer mentalities. First of all, let me put it this way. The formal school now is teaching, and I'm talking about from nursery, primary, secondary. The formal school is teaching 3 things. It is teaching to read. But you are not even reading books. You are reading pamphlets. Then when you have read, you are supposed to cram. And naturally, when you have read, and crammed, you will pass. You will pass. Then the next step is, after you've passed, forget everything.
Yeah.
Because you did not understand, you crammed. So the school is producing real, certified, permanent failures today. Very quickly, we say, nationally, and even Africa as a whole, we need to define the new African. Redefine the new African.
So I think what's fundamental for us today is, can we paint the picture of that African? Yeah? And if when we have painted that picture of an African, then we'd say, what does it take to get that African?
By doubting, we question. Yeah, of course. And by questioning, we learn, in other words. So if you've not questioned, how will you learn? And if you've not learned, how will you implement? So I think the other aspects we need to develop in African man is the sense of doubting.
The real way you're going to know knowledge is when you can conceptualize or know how these facts interrelate.
I think by pointing out to the purpose for which we do what we do, then has to inform and actually attach duty and responsibility to every citizen, regardless of which position you serve in, to fulfill that purpose.
Learning from China, I think if we could stop being selfish from leadership levels, and we start influencing people's mindsets on doing things that we feel that should be able to help us as a country in the next 50 to 100 years, it would be good.
The importance of individual freedom, the individual right in enabling transformation of society is very, very, very key.
I think mindset change for a large group of people as big as China or just any country can either come two ways. One, a phenomenal leader. And then I think the second option is in fact the other way around, that the larger group of people, perhaps slowly or influenced by I don't know what, start to change, start that mindset change, so that as a group we start to slowly believe that, okay, this is not working, this is not the best way. As individuals, perhaps we should go this direction. I mean, if I start to think like this, then my family does, then my friends and colleagues do, then my community does, and then we expand, and then all of a sudden as a country we have a mindset change.
And many of our people today are worried of the time frame because they have not designed the measures. But if you know that I'm taking on this is what we are going to take, this is why, you're not worried. You may not be the beneficiary, but seeing this formal plan become it.
It means that we now, more than ever before, as Africans, as Ugandans, have an opportunity to share with the world what is going on in our lives. Now, with visibility, social media allows you to document your own society, and you will never know how much you can achieve or how much you will learn when you start documenting your own community.
Has it occurred to anyone else in this room that there is a certain knowledge that goes beyond the physical, that is a transcending knowledge, that explains why someone's boils can cure even if you didn't put paraffin? Part of you, do you believe you have a spiritual you that will never die, that transcends beyond time and matter, that even if this body closes, there is a part of you that continues, that knows everything? Did you know there is a part of you that knows everything? If only you paid attention and went back to you. You can calculate any equation. No one needs to teach you. Did you know that there is a part of you that can self-heal without you going to any medication? Did you know there is a part of you that can tell you about a future occurrence that is beyond you in this time and space, that can tell you what's going to happen in 2021? That is a kind of knowledge. That is the transcending you, the one that has no limit, that is not tied to matter, time, and everything, but you are a creator, back to who God is.
And now there is a fundamental mistake we make in our literature. We mistake spiritualism for religiosity.
Yeah, I guess the book does not cover that specifically, but I'm aware of that. So my general proposition is, I became aware of something missing. What is missing for us Africans is that we did not inherit a strong knowledge tower from our ancestors. I define a strong knowledge tower as the written down cumulative collective intelligence that a group of people create over time, and from generation to generation, new people make reference to it, learn from it, and also add to it. In this current stage of human history, the world needs to hear what Africa has to say. And if you don't care about what the world needs to hear, then remember that you and I will be ancestors one day. We must avoid the error. I believe the number one reason our peoples don't embark on the steps needed to create strong knowledge towers by way of writing original ideas is that they fear. Some pre-colonial Africans wrote original ideas like Fanon, like Mazurui, there are a few of them. but most of our people are afraid. People are afraid of many things, but the number one thing people are afraid is that they're afraid to start. They're afraid to be wrong. And maybe they're afraid to seem like they're aiming for greatness. May you look in the mirror every morning and believe in the depths of your soul that you can be great and it's okay. You can even be greater than some non-Africans you are taught to idolize. Thank you very much.